These were going to be my Wrath and the Dawn clothes, but I actually just look more like a Russian peasant. Hello, my name's Leonore and I just finished reading The Rose and the Dagger. So, this book is the sequel to The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee, Ahdieh, and it's the second book in this Wrath and the Dawn duology. The Wrath and the Dawn was really good. It was really well written, really descriptive, really romantic. It wasn't the sort of book that I would usually enjoy, but I really did enjoy it, and I would definitely recommend it if you want to go check that out. If you haven't read it, there definitely will be spoilers for it throughout the entire bit, but I'm just going to go on into a summary. Don't worry if you haven't read The Rose and the Dagger yet, you're safe. So The Rose and the Dagger continues more or less where we left Shazzy and Khalid at the end of The Wrath and the Dawn. It's definitely, if you enjoyed The Wrath and the Dawn, you will definitely enjoy this. It's a satisfying series conclusion. This is the first duology I've ever really read, so I was a little worried that, would they be able to pull everything off in just 2 books? But don't worry, Renee Ahdieh did. This is a roller coaster of a book, so I can't tell you that much about what happens, but there's definitely lots of romance and well-written food that makes you want to drool to keep you going. I will say it is not as good as The Wrath and the Dawn. Definitely preferred The Wrath and the Dawn more, but it is still a very good book. It also has some switching perspectives, like you get Khalid's perspective, you get Tariq's perspective, you get a bunch of different perspectives. In The Wrath and the Dawn, it was almost all Shazzy, and I really do like Shazzy, but I also love getting into other characters' heads, especially the male love interest. I love it when that happens. Anyway, like I said, it's a roller coaster of a book. It is a really fun book. It's a quick read. It's just going to grab you from the start, and you will not want to put this down, especially when you get towards the end. I was just like flipping the pages. What's going to happen next? I need to know, and I read through some of my classes, which I probably shouldn't have done, but hey, it was worth it. So if you haven't read it, I'm just going to go right into spoilers. So you should definitely read this book. I really love this series. It's definitely going to be one that I recommend a lot. So let's just start off with talking about Despina. Despina, from the beginning of the book, you did not know what to expect with Despina. I was really sad when she left with the Rajput, because I really, sort of shipped her with Jalal. We don't really get to see them together, but they seemed kind of sweet when they were together in The Wrath and the Dawn, and then she just leaves, and I could understand why she would leave, because a handmaiden and a captain of the guard might not really work out, but then when I thought she had betrayed Shazzy, I was there like, I trusted you. I shipped you with one of the good guys. I was sad when you left. How dare you? And then when she just came back with her, like, of course I saved you. Like, you don't think that I could fool, the person who I was spying for? Yeah, I'm the best spy. And I like that we actually got to see that she, does really have, a spy talent. Because in the first book, she just sort of goes, oh yeah, I'm a spy, by the way. And then they're like, okay, that's kind of stupid. Now she's not going to tell you anything about Khalid, which I probably should have been stupid. I was the stupid one for thinking. But, and then at the end, she got together with Jalal, and I was just so happy. So, yay, Despina, you definitely deserve a happy ending, girl. I didn't, and your sister isn't that bad either. Another thing that really sort of made me go, whoa, was when Shazzy was shot by Tariq, because just when that happened, I was there like, she's not gonna die, right? Right? Oh my god, she just got an arrow. And I felt kind of sorry for Tariq, but, he sort of had it coming. He's been, really violent, really, I'm gonna kill that dude. See that guy over there? That's Khalid. I'm gonna kill him. And when you have an attitude like that, you end up paying for it in one way or another. And I also just found it really sweet seeing it from her sister. What was her sister's name? Irsa? I loved seeing it from her sister's point of view, because you get to see how she comes over to Khalid's side. First she thinks, oh, he's a terrible person, but then you see how much he cares about her, and from an objective point of view, it was just adorable. God damn it. Those two are so cute. Just being angry at each other. All my OBTPs are angry at each other all the time. Might be a problem. I also like that event had sort of Khalid and Tariq get on the same page and sort of realize, you know what, if we're going to do stuff and win this war, we're going to need to just sort of agree that Shazzy's in love with Khalid, and we're all fine with that. I liked how by the end, you know, they were on good terms, although I'm pretty sure that Khalid still wants to kill him a little, because that's just his personality. Also, one thing that I was sort of expecting was when Raheem died, because whenever you meet a character who, you know, gets into a romantic relationship with somebody who's not the main character, you know, just a secondary character, I'm always there like, they're dead. They're so dead. They're gonna die. And sure enough, that's what happened. He died. It didn't really hit me as hard as it might have, because I didn't really sort of feel the chemistry between Ursa and Raheem, which might sound a bit weird to people who don't read books a lot. A lot of people are always say, like, how can written characters have chemistry? But they can, and they just sort of felt like, okay, they're just being thrown together for the sake of plot, so I wasn't all that surprised when he died. But it's still kind of sad. It does still make you feel like, you know, there's something at stake here. You know, both sides are willing to wreak havoc and destruction. But after that, everything just sort of felt a little anticlimactic. You know, okay, Shazzy sneaks out, and at first they think, oh no, there's going to be a problem. But then it's just Despina's sister, whose name escapes me, Yasmin, and then they just leave. Oh, I just want to take a moment and say, seeing Shazzy and the other people from the soldier's point of view, like just describing this small girl who, you know, one soldier tries to kiss Yasmin, and she just sort of like, that made my day, because I sort of felt like I definitely really like Shazzy as a character, but I wish that she had gotten to fight more things in this book, because I'm always gonna wish that. But I definitely love just the description of that, you know, small thing trying to fight big thing, small thing winning, it gives me hope. I am small, in case you don't know. But then it was like anticlimactic, and then, oh my god, Shazzy's dad just full on, you know, goes all Gollum and stabs Khalid. I was there like, wait, what? And there are barely any pages left. Dear God, Renee, Ahdieh, please, I was taking notes while I wrote, and I kid you not, this is what I wrote. The fuck did, oh, am I supposed to say that word? The F did I just read? Did he just kill him? No! F, I did not see that coming. Please, you know, pull some sort of magic. I will sell my soul for this ending to be different. Crowley, are you there? I will sell my soul. And if you're a Supernatural fan, you get that reference. High five! Also, I loved right before that happened, you know, sort of the bit of foreshadowing earlier on in the book where Khalid's like, I've always thought that, you know, women should be able to rule countries, sort of came through with Yasmin becoming the Sultana, but going back to, you know, Khalid being dead, I freaked out and I turned the page, and I really liked how they dealt with her dad, because he does sort of get a story arc. Sort of like Gollum, you know, he gets something that's really powerful and it sort of like corrupts him, and then he does something terrible, but unlike Gollum, he does sort of get an ending where he realizes that it isn't what he wanted, and then he sacrifices himself to bring the Khalid back. Yes! That made me very happy, and I was right next to somebody who'd already read the book. When I was reading this, I just sort of put the book down, I ran over to them, they're like, Khalid has died. Share my feelings. And she was there like, I share your feelings. There were a lot of feelings there. But I did feel like there was a bit too much of a jump to the epilogue. It's a criticism that a lot of people have for the Harry Potter series, which I don't, because the Harry Potter series is perfect. But I did feel it here, because it did feel like there was a lot unresolved. Like, while we and a lot of the other main characters in the book all know that Khalid, had good, well, not a good reason, but he did, have a reason to kill people, and it was to save, his entire country. The rest of his subjects don't know that. So the fact that they just sort of went back and skipped, X many years in the future, it felt like they just sort of skated over how he was supposed to deal with that. Because that is something you constantly get throughout the book. You constantly see people assuming that he's a monster and being angry at him because, they lost a sister, or they lost a girlfriend, or they lost a daughter. And all of a sudden it's just poof, gone. And I do wish that she had taken, just some extra pages to explain how they do explain that to the citizens of Khorasan. I just feel like it would have given it a bit more closure, and also I would have loved to see Shahrazad's reaction to her father's death and to Khalid waking up. It just felt like they cut a chunk of the book out for no apparent reason. They just, wanted to make them look about the same size on the shelf, and I feel like it weakened the book a little. I did really enjoy the epilogue, though. If there's an epilogue with children, I'm gonna love the shit out of that, because it's just gonna be so adorable. And sure enough, with, can Uncle Artan teach me how to fly on the winged serpent? Oh my god, that small child was so adorable. There's also that circular structure of, Shahrazad telling her son a story, and that's like what started it all in the first place. Stories. Oh, that epilogue, just so adorable. So this book definitely gave me a lot of feels, in case you couldn't tell by all the feels I'm projecting at the camera. Especially when Khalid died, because I just was there like, wait, how do they get out of this one? And everything with this Fina. And of course Shazzy was as sassy as ever. So yeah, it's not as good as the book before it, but it isn't that much worse either. No book that isn't Harry Potter is perfect, but this one is definitely a solid 4-star read, and once again, it isn't as good as the books that came before it, but it is a fulfilling conclusion to a duology. And this series has definitely opened my mind to duologies, and I do now believe that you can tell an awesome epic story in just 2 books. So, I'll see you next time with whichever book I choose to interview next, and I will look less like a Russian peasant.